Sup team, welcome to the video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Krysten Jansen. I'm an online fitness coach for the Natty Hour. I thought I would give you guys an update as to where I am at with my Achilles tendon rupture recovery. I did a video a few weeks ago now just kind of going over how I ruptured my Achilles tendon, and I've decided to go the non-surgical route, and we are heading into week 5. So it's Sunday, July 5th, and tomorrow on Monday we'll be going into week 5, 5 weeks ago where I ruptured my Achilles tendon. So things are going pretty decently right now. I am doing partial weight bearing in my boot. I have an air cast on right now. This is what it looks like. My foot is approximately around a 20-degree angle, so it's still kind of pointed downwards. We want to avoid it being neutral right now, so to help me make sure it's kind of pointed downwards like that, I have 4 1-centimeter wedges in there, and those stay in there until I'm approved to slowly start taking them out. And we'll start that process going into week 6, where I will be going to see my surgeon. He's gonna just kind of take a look at everything, make sure everything is healing properly and that we're on the right path on this road to recovery. So that will be Monday, July 13th, and then providing that appointment goes well, I have a physio, my first physio appointment booked in for that same week, 2 days later on July 15th. So I'm excited, nervous for physio. I mean, I haven't really dealt with much of an injury like this before. I dealt with my back injury, but that was a whole different type of beast. I did all of the rehab for that on my own. So the good thing about this injury is there is a clear path to this road to recovery. Every single week I have a protocol in place. Typically right now between week 4 and week 6, you want to transition if you can from partial weight bearing into full weight bearing. So I think that I probably could transition right now to full weight bearing, but there are some mental blocks going on right now with making that transition. Definitely just the fear of putting my full body weight onto my injured leg. So I have some different strategies in place to help me transition into that, and my goal is by the end of week 5 to be fully weight bearing. A lot of people are typically weight bearing by now, some people end of week 3, middle of week 4, but I'm really trying hard not to get caught up in other people's progress and just listening to my body and you know, just taking things slow. But other than that, what I've been doing is just some early mobilization. I was told to do that after I got out of my cast and into the boot. Every so often throughout the day. There's been some people and some research suggesting that you want to try to do about 5 minutes every hour. I'll show you what that looks like here in a couple of minutes. And I definitely noticed that just some of the tightness and the pressure in that area is relieved from the early mobilization, so I enjoy doing it. I'm not afraid to take my foot out of the boot anymore, so that part is good. I can definitely tell that the tendon is becoming a lot stronger. I've just been doing just some subtle self massage around the tendon, and it doesn't hurt anymore, thank God. Those first few weeks were pretty brutal when it came to pain. What else can I tell you before I show you? The only thing that causes a lot of discomfort right now is sleeping. I definitely am sleeping in the boot, and I have to sleep on my back. I tried sleeping on my side the other night, and I have a pillow in between my legs where my hurt leg is on top of the pillow, and it was working fine for a couple of nights, but the other night when I did that, I woke up and my ankle was in an insane amount of pain. It was throbbing so bad, so I don't know if my foot was just maybe sitting wrong in the boot or the pressure that was being put on my ankle. It was horrendous, and I had to lie on my back the rest of the night, and I didn't sleep much the rest of the night because it was throbbing so bad. So unfortunately, I've reverted back to making sure that I am sleeping on my back because that's the angle where my Achilles tendon is most comfortable. Kind of sucks though because it hurts my hip quite a lot, unfortunately, so I'm trying to do some different hip strengthening movements to make sure that my left hip is trying to stay as strong as my right hip, because that will make learning to walk again that much easier if I can make sure that the strength is matched right now. So other than that, everything else is going okay. Before I show you my early mobilization, I'll show you what equipment I'm using. I have a scooter that I'm using as my tripod right now, so I can't really show you that, but we got crutches, of course, that the hospital gave me, and I got my iWalk 2.0. I ordered this right away. And I thought at first I would only have to use one of these three things, but it turns out I need all three of them. The crutches are to help me learn how to walk again. The scooter allows me to get outside and, you know, go for walks with my friends and my family and be able to keep up with them. And then the iWalk 2.0, it allows me to do just some chores around the house. I'm very slow with it, and I wouldn't recommend using the iWalk for long periods of time just because it does put your foot in kind of an uncomfortable position, and just the impact of it when you're walking, you can definitely feel it a little bit on your foot, so I wouldn't use it for extended periods of time. And the last piece of equipment I have, it's called an Even Up. Can you see that okay? So I have it on the bottom of a powerlifting shoe just because there's already a heel in the shoe, and what that allows me to do, I'll show it to you when I show you me doing some partial weight bearing. It just allows me to be even so I can learn how to walk a little bit easier, and then that way I'm not walking awkwardly and risking falling when I'm starting to fully weight bear. So let me quickly show you what I am doing for the early mobilization. I will show me partial weight bearing, and then I'm gonna just show you guys some exercises that I've been doing, just some pre-filmed exercises that I've been doing in the gym and at my home gym, just because I've been following a lot of people with their updates and stuff like that, and not a lot of people are showing a lot of what they're doing when it comes to certain movements, so maybe what I'm doing might be helpful for some of you. You should be able to see it okay. Take the boot off here. So whenever I take my foot out, I always try to point my toe down as much as I can. That's how it's sitting right now. Try to do it so you guys can see. So I'll start off just kind of holding, I don't hold it up this high, I'm just doing it so you guys can see it. Point my foot down a little bit and just start off with doing some toe curls, trying to spread my toes a little bit too. The amount of movement that I am getting in my toes now is quite significant compared to week one. I could barely move my toes, especially my big toe. I had to use my hand in order to move it. So it's nice to see some movement in there. And then we'll do some side-to-side inversions and eversions, if you guys can see that. Making sure that my foot stays pointed down and it's not at a 90-degree angle. Because right now we're not stretching the tendon. That's only if it goes past that 90 degrees. So we don't want to be doing that for probably a good 20 weeks. So this is just right now helping reduce any atrophy in my foot, in my calf, so that way it helps reduce the re-rupture rate when we go to start walking again. So I do about 10-15 of those, and then the last one, the most important one, is just pointing my toes down. So I'll start off right there and then just point them down just a little bit and then bring it back up. Down, back up, down, back up. When I bring it down, I can definitely feel the tendon working right there, and once in a while I will get a twitch in my calf, so that's a good sign. Things are healing. It's very subtle, but I do this every hour for about 5 minutes. Down, back up. So a lot more control. Before, when I came back up, it would kind of flinch. Now I feel like I can bring it back up in a controlled manner, so that's good. So I'm just going to put the boot back on, and then I'll show you guys me partial weight bearing. Okay, so when you are ready to start weight bearing, and if you do get an Even Up to bring yourself up. Make sure that you bring your crutches up. But one of the biggest reasons why I think I'm almost ready to start weight bearing is because I can stand here without crutches. So something that I'm gonna do, like as you can tell, all my weight's on the one side, but something that I will do just to kind of help is kind of rock back and forth. Once I can do that without holding onto the crutches and then holding onto something, and once I can stand on the one leg, that's when I'll try the non-weight bearing, the full weight bearing, but until then we'll kind of see how it progresses. But let me just move this down a little bit so you can see me walking. So for right now, this is just me partial weight bearing. So we're slowly getting there. I have maybe about like 50 pounds that I'm putting on there. So, I mean, we're almost there. Like I know that I'm safe in the boot and that I totally can start full weight bearing, but it's all up here, and I need to make sure that this is ready before I'll allow my body to be ready, and we'll get there. It's just gonna take a little bit of time, but my goal is by the end of the week, so fingers crossed. So that's basically where we are at right now going into week 5. Very happy with the progress. I think it's good that I have things that I need to do every single day versus just waiting around for a bone to heal. I think that could be, I've never broken a bone, but I imagine just sitting around and waiting could be a little bit depressing. So, I mean, I've had my moments, but at the same time, at least I can make incremental changes each day. I'm slowly making progress on the day-to-day basis. Still trying to really focus on not getting caught up on how much time I have left in order to get back to 100%. Oh, and sorry, I'm just going to overlay some of the exercises that I've been doing while I've been recovering, so you guys have an idea of what I've been doing. But it's really hard not to, but I've just been trying to focus on the day-to-day, taking it one step at a time, and that's really allowed me to not drive myself crazy to the point where I'm going insane thinking of how much longer of a journey this really is gonna be, because that makes it a little bit frustrating. But at the end of the day, things are going well. I'm happy with the progress. I'm pretty blessed at the number of people who've reached out to me. People are pretty amazing who have gone through this injury. It's a very solid support system, and I see why, because it's scary. It's a tough injury, but you know what? We're getting there, and that's all that matters. So a lot of my movements that I've been doing right now, and the reason why I've been exercising is just to help me mentally. So many people, when I go to the gym, they're like, whoa, you're so determined and so dedicated and disciplined, and I'm like, nah, this part is easy for me to just go do something, especially with COVID, right? We've all been in quarantine for so long that now that the gyms are open back up, I can only stay at home for so long, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I can't do much. I'm not doing a lot of closed chain movements. A lot of it is open chain. I'm probably not going to be squatting for a very long time just because of the dorsiflexion that is involved with squatting. So a lot of quad development and regrowth is going to probably be more open chain movements such as leg extensions and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, training has just been allowing me to cope mentally with everything, because the stuff that is challenging and that requires discipline is this. The walking, the rehab, the early mobilization, that's the stuff that I don't want to do, but I have to do. And that's where my discipline is being allocated towards right now. And training just allows me to generate that motivation to make sure that I'm doing the things necessary for my recovery. So hopefully some of these ideas that I'm throwing up here that you're seeing right now just gives you some ideas of what you can do for yourself. Biggest recommendation is just to listen to your body. Of course, don't be lifting as much as you are used to. take it very slow. When I first started, I was definitely resting for a good 5 minutes in between every single set, just because your Achilles, especially in the first couple of weeks, is really sore as it's recovering and reattaching. So you have to listen to your body and not overdo it. That's kind of the nice thing with the gyms right now. It's only a 60-minute period, so I can only do so much. I bring my scooter in there, scooter around, so that way I can move a little bit quicker. It acts as a good tripod, and I'm lucky enough that I have some stuff that I can do at home, so I can even slow it down even further and not feel rushed and take my time. So I'm keeping a list right now of what I can do and just slowly adding to that list, and that's just another way for me to measure my progress, not getting caught up in what I used to be able to do with squatting and benching and deadlifting and all that good stuff. This is my new starting point now, and just adding to that list of new movement patterns that I can do and incorporate. It's keeping me motivated, keeping me focused. Alright, I know this video was super long. Hopefully this update is thorough and helpful for those who are in their recovery right now. I'll try to do another update once something awesome happens, maybe when I'm fully weight bearing. If not, I'll give you an update as to what my surgeon and how my physio appointment goes the following week. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.